Hi guys, thank you so much for watching my videos, and if you have not subscribed, please make sure you press the subscribe button, press like, and today I'm going to be talking about my time in Nigeria. So that's hence the Nigerian outfit, and I will mention as much as I can about the good things, the positive things, but I also want to talk about the negative things, that experiences that I had when I was in Nigeria. I was in Nigeria from 2000 and I think 2011, from 2000 about 2000 early 2014, I think January 2014. So what are the things that I like? One thing that I say to everyone who's never been to Nigeria is that you have not been to Africa until you have been to Nigeria. Even if you are an African born and raised in Africa, until you have been to Nigeria, you have not been to Africa. Nigeria is the heart of Africa. Nigeria is life does not get any more African than Nigeria. You have to be there to understand what I'm trying to say, and I'm telling you, once you go there, you will you will know that you have experienced Africa. So there are some really beautiful things like the food. For me, the food is just epic. Number one at the top of the list. Nigerian food is absolutely delicious. If I was to compare Nigerian food to the Zimbabwe food, for example, how we have yams called madumbe. What we do is that we boil them. That's how you make yams. In Nigeria, they can do 1,000 things with that yam. They boil it, they grill it, they fry it, they mash it, so many things, meals that can come out of one thing. And their food is always so tasty, always so spicy. Another example is rice. In Zimbabwe, what do we do with rice? We boil it. Nigerians make jollof rice, they stew it, they also fry it, make fried rice. And when it comes to beans, we have our beans here, sugar beans. We boil them and we do stew them as well. Nigerians stew them, but they also make akara, which is bean cake. They also make moi moi, which is bean paste. And it's always so spicy and flavorful, so there is nothing bland, does not exist in African cuisine, in Nigerian cuisine. Everything is so tasty, and that's why Nigerians struggle when they go outside of the country and live in, overseas and stuff. That's why you'll find that when you walk into a Nigerian's house, you feel like you are in Nigeria, because they just can't do it. They need their food, and if you taste their food, you will know why. When it comes to their dressing, Nigerians' dressing is so flamboyant. They're so proud of their dressing, and there's just this richness, this colorfulness, this vibrancy. If you attend Nigerian events like weddings and funerals, whatever, there's a dress code, there's a fabric that everyone wears, but they style it in so many different styles. And it's crazy, because you're at a funeral, other people are crying, but you're that foreigner who's looking at everyone's dressing like, wow, look at that dress, oh, look at that skirt, look at that, so there are some really beautiful things about their culture, and you can definitely understand why Nigerians are so proud of their culture. There are some really beautiful things, and they are so welcoming of people from other countries, Africans from other countries. If you're from Southern Africa, they are so loving, so welcoming. You even get men who just want to marry you because you're from Southern Africa, who just literally, I've experienced this every time I've gone to the airport in Nigeria. I hear from Southern Africa, I want to marry you, but then, which is why it's so sad when, you look at countries like South Africa, where there's so much xenophobia against Nigerians and Zimbabweans and everyone else. Because when you look at Nigerians, they are so welcoming. If you go to Nigeria, you will see how loving they are as a nation, as a people. They are so loving and so welcoming. And as I said, their food is just absolutely amazing and divine. And I spoke about the dressing, and I spoke about, the people. The people are just so loving. They are passionate people, very passionate people. They're very expressive people. A Nigerian can call you like blockhead or you small rat, but they're not they're not actually really like angry. Like, some of these words are just common, they're just thrown, they're just natural. A person will say that. A father will call his child a rat, but he doesn't hate their child. He loves his child so much. But they're just people who are very extreme with their words, very passionate. It's like there's no middle ground, but they love so deeply. That is my experience of being in Nigeria. Now, the things that I did not like about being there. You see, now this part I have to be very careful because, and this was one of the things that made me nervous about sharing some of my stories, is that you always have to be careful how you don't mention any people and certain places and whatever. So I'm going to try and express myself without saying too much. So I was living in a certain place with certain people in Nigeria, and I was working in a church, and I guess I got to see how much the culture infiltrated in the Christianity. Now, there seems to be a lot of mixture with Nigerian culture and Christianity. It's just put together. It's the same thing. And which makes it very difficult when you are somebody of a different nation, a different country, and you're all Christian, but you can see that this Christianity here has got something else in it that's not necessarily biblical, So there was a lot of things that I experienced or saw that were not necessarily biblical, but I could see that this is a Nigerian thing. And people will expect you to move that way because that's their way, but that no, but this to me is not okay. This to me is not natural to me because it's actually not even Christian, So I'll give you an example. There's a certain way of serving people. If somebody has a greater title, a higher title than you, they are practically worshipped. You are supposed to practically worship somebody who is higher than you, whether they are, this is my experience, guys. If you disagree, you are free to disagree. If you're a Nigerian watching this, you are very free, welcome to disagree. But I am speaking to you as a Zimbabwean who was in Nigeria, as a Zimbabwean Christian who was in Nigeria. So things like when someone is above you in title, you are almost like a slave to them. Let me give you a scenario. You're working together and this person is your boss. If your boss says that they want you, they don't have a maid, their maid has gone on holiday, so somebody needs to wash my dishes. Go wash my dishes, go cook for me, you leave what you are doing and you go. That is something that we don't really do here. Now, I don't know if that is a church thing or whether it happens in every Nigerian organization. But for me, that was something that was, wait a minute, like if I'm sitting at my desk and I have certain work to do, why should I have to now go to your house to get your this and to do your that? And when we're at work, we're in an organization, we are in a professional setting. Why you ask me to go and do personal things for you? Like, you know what I mean? To go feed your dog because you forgot to feed your dog. Like, is that my responsibility? Is that me? You know what I mean? So to them, it may look to you like you are the strange one or you are not as giving of yourself as you should be. Maybe that's what it looks, when we don't do things like that to them. But for me, it's like, we need to have boundaries. I can't be everything you want me to be when our relationship is a work relationship, So that's one thing. And also, I will tell you that, where I was living with an amazing, couple. Now, this is my story time. guys, this this is these are things that I have a right to share because it's my story, but at the same time I do want to make it clear that everything that I share is stuff that I've healed from. It's stuff that is in the past. It is stuff that is true according to me, according to my story. And it's not meant to bash anyone, it's not meant to criticize anyone, but it's stuff that I experience. It's stuff that I experience that I want to share, you know, and obviously not mentioning any names. So if you want to assume that you know who I'm talking about, that's you. But I would rather you not share that, you know, or because you know what, you could be wrong. So I will just experience so I was staying with certain people who were very accommodating to me, very loving, very nice, you know. But as time goes by, you know, just like in any other relationship, people start seeing their true colors, people start realizing certain things, and you may start realizing, you know what, this is not what I thought it was. I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. So over time, where I was staying, I really started feeling very abused. Things would be said to me that you just don't say to people. And I'm telling you that these are church people who I looked up to, who I respected. But certain things would be said to me like, oh, you know, because I would not have done something that they wanted me to do. I would hear things like, you're useless. Why are you even here? Why have you done this? You know, how old are you at your age? How come you don't know? How come you haven't washed those clothes, or you haven't washed those dishes, or you haven't, why do I have to ask you? So I realized that, you know what, I think there was a miscommunication here, because I thought I was coming here to work and stuff, and now all of a sudden I'm a slave, you know, or I am being treated like one, or I am being expected to get into the role of a maid or a slave, and just do things without being asked, you know, when that's not the assignment that I thought I had. So, and I don't know if that was because of the title that the person had, you know, in a church setting, or whether it's because they actually didn't want me to be there. You know, it was a very, very difficult situation that I was in, guys. I was literally like days that I would cry, days that I would be like, but God, I thought you brought me here. Why am I here? Why am I going through this? You know? But I knew God wanted me there for a certain period of time. So I feel like from my experience, sometimes when you are in a church setting, people get away with a lot of bad things. And they protect themselves with their titles. They protect themselves, you know, with that reputation that they have. So you cannot accuse them, or you cannot. And then there's a culture thing that I mentioned before. They protect themselves with their culture, because in the African culture, when someone is older than you or higher than you in whatever kind of ranking, you respect them. Almost like, you know, you are seen and not heard, or you're not supposed to express your views if they are against what they're saying. If your views don't agree with them, you have to be quiet, you know. So there are levels, and I think in Nigerian culture the level of that is like 110, you know. You cannot argue with somebody who has a bigger title than you or is higher than you, no matter how wrong they are, no matter what. So imagine being in that situation where you are literally being abused, but you can't say anything because nobody ever says anything to somebody with that title, or, you know, somebody with that position, you know, in the house or in the family or in the, you know. So there were certain things like that I found that I did not like about the culture, and I did not appreciate about how, you know, their way of worshiping God, where the culture must sort of be one thing with their Christianity, you know. Because would you do that if you were in Finland, for example? Are you gonna treat your Finland employees like that, Kuti? They have to do certain things for you personally, whether they like it or not. because of your position or your title. Like, my thing is, you know what, if you really believe that what you're doing is godly, it shouldn't be hidden. It should be done everywhere. So these are some of the things that I found that I didn't like, I struggled with. And also the thing of working in church. Now, this is something that I will do another video for. When you are working in church, many times people expect you to not be paid, or to not be paid as much as you deserve according to your qualifications, using the whole thing of you're doing it for God. You're doing this for God, so you can't complain. Are you not doing it for God? So those are some of the things that I experienced, and I wouldn't say that that is unique to Nigeria or churches in Nigeria. I think that is just a church thing, a Christian thing that people do, and it's a form of abuse. But people don't want to offend their elders or other people within the church or whatever, so they'll keep quiet and act like it's normal, or suffer silently, or they end up just leaving. So that is what I'm gonna say. I wanted basically to focus on my experience in Nigeria, and also talk about some of these things that we experience in churches because of titles and whatever. And because of some of these experiences that I've had, titles don't matter to me in my life anymore. I do not care what title I am given by people. What matters to me is pleasing God and being the person that God wants me to be. Whether I am recognized for it, whether I'm celebrated for it or not, I just want to live my purpose and do what I'm supposed to do as far as God is concerned. Whether that is enough or insufficient to other people, I don't care. So those are some of the experiences that I've had, and I think I will have to do another video to kind of go deeper into what that did to me afterwards. What was my experience when I came back and I left and I was here. How did I actually now recuperate sort of and get back into finding myself? And I will share that in the next video. If you do like this video, please make sure you comment, make sure you like, and make sure you subscribe. And I look forward to sharing the next part of the story with you. Bye.